Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I am your instructor, Richard Rost. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to build an event countdown form. Never miss another deadline again. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to build an event countdown reminder form. You can add events to a table. Then when your database starts up, a form will automatically pop up showing you how many days you have left until each of your upcoming events. We'll also make buttons to easily close the form, edit an event, add new events, delete events, complete with an "Are you sure?" prompt. And while this database won't help you prepare for these events, at least it'll help you to not miss them. Today's question comes from Meghan in Albany, Georgia, one of my gold members. Meghan says, "It seems I'm always missing events. Yeah, I put them on my calendar and I set alarms, but I'm always dismissing them and forgetting about important stuff." Yeah, I do that too, Meghan. "Is there any way I could have Access pop up a huge reminder in my face that says, 'You have that conference in 2 days'? It'd be nice if I could see the next 3 or 4 things coming up so I know what's going on. Thanks." Yeah, Meghan, that's what I've got in my database. I got something similar to this that pops up so I can say, okay, I got this due in 1 day. I got this coming up in 2 months, whatever. So I can see just every time I start my database, this guy pops up and I can see what's coming up. All right, I'll make little buttons to close this form, edit that item, right? Add a new one and delete. And some other bells and whistles too, like a little bit of conditional formatting here to say, hey, this is like tomorrow, right? Okay, couple prerequisites first. If you can, go watch this one first. I already did a video on something similar. It's where you've got reminders for follow-ups for people in your database. Like it says, oh, you got follow-ups to make, you got customers you got to call, that kind of thing. This just pops up one little notice. It's not quite as elaborate as what we're going to build today. But go watch this. It's a good starting block for what we're going to do today. You will need to know how to make calculated fields in queries. So go watch this if you don't know what that means. You'll definitely need to know how to work with continuous forms. If you don't know what a continuous form is, go watch this video. And we're going to use a tiny, teeny, tiny bit of VBA, Visual Basic Programming. Don't be scared of it. Go watch this video. It's 20 minutes long. It introduces you to everything you need to know to start programming in Access. It's not hard. Don't be intimidated. All of these things are free videos. You'll find them on my website. You'll find them on my YouTube channel. I'll put links down below in the description under the video window that you can click on to go watch these. Go watch them, then come on back when you're done, and we'll get started with this database. Okay, so here I am in my blank Tech Help free template. This is a free database. You can download a copy off my website if you want to. Let's get started by making a table to store our events in. So let's go to Create, and then Table Design. And this will be our event table, so we need an event ID. That'll be our auto number. We'll need an event name, whatever you want to call it. Don't use the word name. Remember, name is a reserved word. Never use just the word name or the word date or something like that. Okay? And that's the next thing, event date. That'll be a date value. Let's make the default down here, the default value equals date plus 1. That means we're going to default anything we add new to tomorrow. All right, date is the current system date plus 1. And if you don't know how to set a default value, go watch this video. All right, so let's save this as my event T, my event table. Primary key will say yes, and let's throw some data in here. Okay. All right, it's currently August 15th, so tomorrow's August 16th. Let's say I've got a conference coming up tomorrow. Okay, let's say I got a birthday coming up in a couple months. No, I'm not telling you how old I am. Let's say you got surgery next week, so let's say 8/22. Let's say you got an anniversary you want to put in here. All right, a couple other things too. Maybe you got a loan that's being paid off on 9/5, whatever. All right. Oh, and the eclipse. Don't forget the big eclipse that's coming up. That's in 2023, April 8th, I think it is. Okay. No, I just Googled it. I'm wrong. It's 2024. So we'll change that. By the way, these are the ISO dates. It's a standard that everyone can agree on. It's year, month, day. I got students all over the world, and a lot of times stuff that I show doesn't work if you're using USA standards and you try to translate it to like a European date format. So I switch everything to ISO dates. If you want to learn more about that, here you go. Okay, so we got some dates in here. Let's go ahead and close this now. Now, let's make a query with a calculated field in it so we can see at a glance how many days are left, how many days are remaining until that event. So let's go to Create, Query Design. I don't need you. Let's just bring in my event table. Close that. Bring in the star. That brings in all the fields. And we're going to make a field down here called days left. Let me zoom in so you can see that better. Shift F2. I'm going to zoom in. All right, it's days left, colon. And we're going to say event date minus date, like that. That's the event date, which is a larger number because it's further in the future, right? Subtract today's date. Remember our date math, right? A day is equal to 1. All right, hit OK. Hit Tab. Make sure your event date, because Access is going to put those little brackets around it. Make sure your event date has brackets around it and not quotes. Sometimes Access is trying to help you out. If it sees that that's a field name, it'll put brackets around it. If not, somehow, sometimes it'll put quotes around it, which you don't want. All right, and now if I run that query, there you go. There's all of your events. There's how many days left until that event. Let's sort this let's sort it ascending by days left. So you can see the most recent stuff first. So sort ascending or ascending. Remember, ascending has nothing to do with the tail end of a donkey. Okay. I'm going to save that as my event queue, event query. All right, we close that. Now let's make our continuous form that's got the event name and the days left on it. That's why I want to make that that calculated query field. So I've already got on my blank template here a continuous form. I'll copy this guy. Copy, Control-C, paste, Control-V. We'll call this my event F. And then I'll just modify this guy. Right-click, Design View. The first thing we have to do is bind this to our data. So we're going to double-click here to bring up the form's properties. Go to the record source property, drop that down, and pick event Q. Now this form is bound to that query. So it's going to get its data from that query. All right, let's get rid of this. We don't need an ID field on here. All I really want is the event name and the days left. So we'll use this guy first. All right, this will be our, go to control source, drop this down. We want event name. I'm going to copy and paste that into the name of the text box. So the text box is also named what the control source is, right? They're both event name. That's fine. Okay, I need one more, so copy, paste. Let's slide this over here. And this guy is going to be days left. Drop this down, days left, copy, paste. There we go. All right, let's save that. Take a look at what we got here. Go to form view. Okay, looks good. Conference, surgery, loan paid off, birthday. We're getting there. That's a step. Okay. Let's make these things bigger, right? Because I want it nice and prominent. So let's design view. Let's slide this over here. I'm going to make this event name thing, and let's make this big. Let's do this. Let's go slide this out like that. And maybe we'll do, I don't know. Let's make this the whole size here. Drop that down like that. And this one here. Make these about as big as you think they need to be, like that. That looks good. And let's select both of them together, right? See what I did there? You could just draw a box that just touches both of them, and it selects them both. Let's go to Format. Let's make them big, maybe like, I don't know, 36 point. That's a little bit. No, let's make the boxes bigger. There we go. All right, resize, do a little bit of that. Okay, that's good. Maybe a little bold. Let's center these things in their boxes like that. All right. And I'm scrolled over to the right a little bit here. That's actually centered. That looks right. All right, let's bring this over, bring that edge over like that. Let's center these labels over the tops, like so. This is going to be days. Just days is fine. That's just a caption, right? And this guy over here, slide like that, and we'll call you event. And we'll make that look like that. And let's save it and see what it looks like here. Let's go back to form view right there. Okay. All right. It's getting there. This didn't center. Sometimes it doesn't center. I'm not exactly sure why Access does that. Sometimes if you click on two things together and you center them both, see that they didn't both center. That's weird. There it goes. Access can be picky. And nope. Be careful. See what I just did there? I accidentally clicked on layout view. Right now I'm in layout view on this guy, which I don't want to be. I hate layout view. All right, let's try this again. Open up the main menu. Open up the event form. There it is. That looks better. Okay. I'm going to size that down to there. Hit save. Okay, looks good. I'm going to turn off some stuff. I'm not going to use this form for editing anything. We're going to open up another form to edit the events. So I'm going to turn off the record selectors. I'm going to turn off the navigation buttons, and I'm going to leave only the vertical scroll bar on. So let's go into the forms properties right here under format. We're going to turn off the record selectors, navigation buttons, and scroll bars set to vertical only. Okay, save that. Let's take a look at it now. All right, looks much better. And let's put a button to open this guy on the main menu, because it's a pain having to go back to the navigation pane all the time. Get it? It's a pain having to go back to the pane. Yeah. You see what I did there? Okay, it's not that funny. All right, I'm just going to borrow my Hello World button. Actually, I'll just use the Hello World button. We don't really use it for anything. All right, let's say events, right? And let's name the button. Instead of Hello World button, event button, BTN. Right-click, build event. That's why I wanted you to watch that intro to VBA, right? Okay, here I am in my event button click. Now, keep in mind, I renamed it, so the Hello World button code is still in here. You can delete that now if you want to. All right, and all this is going to do is DoCmd.OpenForm event F. That's it. See how fast that is? That's a whole lot easier than running through the form wizard. And you get a nice one-line of code here, and you don't have to worry about an embedded macro. I love VBA. It's brilliant. Okay, so open up the main menu, open up my events. There it is. Maybe slide it over here later on when we're done building it, right? All right, what's next? Let's set up our colors here. Now, what I'm going to do is, all right, instead of having these take up the whole space, I'm going to actually make these a little bit smaller than the space that they're in. We're going to make these a little bit smaller so we can actually, I want to see the background color. So we're going to do something like this. You'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. I'll take you back to the title slide to show you the look that I want right here. I want this box will be inside the background like that, okay? And, you know, there's a little bit of space around it, okay? And for this, I do want that alternating background color, so let's turn that on too. Okay, so size this out just like that. So you got a little bit of space around it, right? And let's set up our color scheme. So I'm going to set up the form header first. Let's go dark blue. I like to stick with the standard colors if I can. We'll make that dark blue as well. And let's make this guy in here like a lighter blue, like maybe there. Okay? And I'm going to set these guys so their background is transparent, like that. All right, so so the background color shines through. And let's make this one, darker. So I'll go shape fill. We'll make this the same dark blue and make the font white, like that. All right. And let's save that and take a peek at it. Let's see what we got. All right, looking a lot better. Now, for this one, you could barely see there's a border around this still. Let's turn that border off. And for this one, I do want the alternating background colors, which I normally do turn off. So let's click on U, Format. Let's go to Shape Outline, Transparent. So I don't want to see the outline at all. All right, and for the detail section, normally under Format, I set the alternating background color to no color. But for this one, I want a little bit of color. So let's go to the ... and let's pick a slightly different blue. Like that. All right. Close it and open it. And there we go. It looks great. All right, see the alternating colors? Okay. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's set our form's caption so it's not event F, right? We'll call this like event countdown or something. Caption. Event countdown. Looks a little more professional, right? Okay, there we go. Event countdown. Okay, is everybody with me? Everybody in the back of the class? Can everyone see? Raise your hand if you can't see. Everybody? All right, I know the overhead projector. Remember those days? Overhead projectors. I'm old. Okay, now, next thing is we have the problem of focus. All right? When the form starts up, the focus is going to be on the first text box. And there's not a lot we can do with that without a little bit of VBA code. Okay? Notice if I hit tab now, okay, it's just going to move between those boxes. Okay? I don't want that to start up looking like this. Right? So what I have to do is I'm going to put a little button down here. We're going to have a couple buttons down here to open up the event, to edit the event, to add a new one. So what we're going to do is when this form starts out, we're going to put the focus on one of those little buttons down there so it's not up top there. Okay? So let's drop a button down there. Design view. We're going to make one simple button first just to close the form. Okay, so drop a button right there. Cancel the wizard. Rename this to close. Just call it close. Just caption it close. And I'll slide it over a little bit, and we'll make it a little bit smaller. All right, we're going to give it a name first. All right, it's Command 5. No, I don't want Command 5. I want close button. BTN. Okay, right-click, build event. All you need in here is DoCmd.Close. That's it. That'll close the current object, which is the form. Okay, so that's that simple. I gotta update my copyright notices, don't I? Okay, save it, close it, open it up. Now what happens is, if you click on this button, it closes the form, right? But I want, when this form opens up, I want it to immediately set the focus down here. Now, yeah, there is this thing called the tab order, but the tab order only affects the detail section when the form loads. The focus is always going to start on the first field in the detail section. So in order to get it to jump down here, which is in the form footer, we're going to need a little tiny bit of VBA. All right, you ready for it? Go to the Forms Properties, go to Events, find the OnLoad property. It works in either OnLoad or OnOpen, either one. For this particular case, either one's fine. I'll use OnLoad, ... Okay, now what do I want to do when the form loads up? I want to say close button .set focus. That's it. When the form loads up, put the focus where the tab is, where the cursor is, what has the focus, right, is going to be the close button. Save it. Close that. Open it up, and look at that. Notice it's all got the little dotted lines around it. That's because the form opened up and it said, "Whoop, go right there." So now if I do hit space, it'll close that, which is that's kind of desirable. I like that, right? It opens up. You don't want to see it. Hit the space bar. All right, whatever button you want to have the focus, you can drop it like that. And now notice this looks normal. Okay? All right, we're getting there. We learned some things, learned a couple new tricks. All right, that's the major benefit of these tech help videos, is I use them for tricks. Some of this stuff doesn't normally fit in my regular classes. And I just, I have to throw a tech help video. Okay. Okay, now I don't want to do any editing on this form here, okay? Because I need a place to put the date, right? I just want to see here, I just want to see the name of what's coming up and how many days left. All right, so I'm going to use another single form to actually edit and add these items. So let's take my blank single form here, copy, paste. This will be our event edit form, event edit. Okay, right click, design view. Once again, we're going to bind this guy to the event table. Okay, and I'm just going to come over here, grab add existing fields. I like to do this. Watch, I grab all three of these, click, drag, drop them over here. And the only reason I keep these in here is for format painting. Watch, click on that, go to the format painter, which is normally on the home tab, right? Click, paste, see, right? And then this one, click, click to hold it down, and then paste, paste. And now I can turn it off. See, that's the only reason I keep these guys around, is for their formats. All right, slide these up here. All right, you can make these look a little nicer because these are just labels, event space name, event space date. All right, the IDs, that's good enough size. The event name can be larger. The event date, that's fine too. Let's slide them up in the corner a little bit more, like so. Get them right up on each other so they're nice and tight like that. Select them all, right click, size to grid. That's one of my pet peeves. These should all be snapping on the grid. And we'll do something like that. Oh, you know what we could do? We could put our days left in here too. That'll show there. Let's instead of the table, let's make the data based on the event queue. It's got all the same fields, and now we can add in there that days left right there. We're going to stick you right down on the bottom under there. And since this is a calculated field, I'll make it look gray. Right? Format paint, like that. And we can say days left, like so. All right, let's save that, close it, open it up again, and okay, it looks good. Let's do some left justify. Design view, select all of that, format, left, align. I always say justify, it's align. And that looks a lot better. Okay, conference, surgery, now, we're going to use this guy to edit this stuff. And we're going to do so one record at a time. So I don't want the user running through these like this. All right, we're going to basically click on one of these, click a button to open this, or double click on this, and it'll pop this guy up. So let's modify this guy, design view. Let's go into his properties, go to format. Again, we're going to turn off the record selectors, navigation buttons. We don't need any scroll bars, so neither, where I just saw it, there it is. Okay, and I want this to pop up, and I want the user to have to do something and close it and not be able to sneak around behind it and change things. So we're going to go to Other and set this to Modal. Modal means you have to close this form before you can do anything else. You can't click on a form behind it. Want to learn more about Modal and Popup? There you go. All right, so now when I close this, save changes, yes. If I'm working on one of these and I double click on surgery, for example, it's going to pop this guy up. And yeah, one of the things that happens with Modal is it disables your navigation pane, and most of the things up here on the menu. Some things still work, like sorting, but a lot of the things up here are disabled. All right, so you can't see, I'm trying to click behind it. You can't go anywhere until you close that form, which that's what we want. Okay, so now we need a way to open up that form from this one. I'm going to close this guy because it's, well, yeah, let's close that. So what we're going to do is put a button right next to the close button. I'm just going to copy and paste, copy, paste. Control C, Control V, and we're going to go open. We're going to call you the open button over here. Open button. See, Alex, I've been much better with naming my buttons lately. All right, now, right click, build event, do command, open form. What form are we opening? The event edit F. All right, but I want to open a specific record. I want to open whatever record the focus is currently on up top. So, comma, 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 it's going to be where the event ID equals the event ID of the current form. Now, even though event ID isn't a field on the form, it's still a field in the record source underneath the form, so Access can still work with it. So whatever record you're on, that's the one that's going to get open. Okay, that's all you need, one line of code. Most of the things you're going to do with your beginner VBA is one line of code. You just got to learn a couple of commands. Okay, now open it back up again. Let's go back to my event F. All right, every time you edit this, by the way, it's going to snap back down to the smaller size. That's the pain. I'll show you a way later you can fix it. Okay, so click on loan paid off, hit open. Boom, there's your loan paid off record. Okay, and yeah, you can just close that. Because in your final database, you're going to leave this minimized anyways. I'll show you how to minimize this in one of my other videos. All right, click on the anniversary, hit open. Boom, there's your anniversary button. Form, whatever. Okay, now, easier than using this button would be if you could just simply double click on that guy. So let's use an on double click event. All right, click on this. Go to event. Find the on double click event right there on DBL click, ... and then put the same command in there. Copy this and paste it up here. That's it. And since it's only one line of code, yeah, it's okay to duplicate it. All right, if you had like a block of code in here, I wouldn't recommend copying and pasting, multiple lines of code. You'd make a separate subroutine for that. But one line of code is just fine. All right, close that. Let's go back to our event form. And now watch, double click. Boom, there's your loan paid off. Close it. Birthday, boom, birthday. See, that's how you can open up whichever one you want. Okay, it's getting there. It's getting there. Okay, now the next one's kind of up to you. If you want to allow them to edit the name here, that's up to you. That's fine. I don't see a problem with that, right? You could do something like this, and that'll get saved in the table. No big deal. Okay. If you don't want to allow them to edit that, I would suggest going into the form, and then going into the form's properties under data, and just set allow edits to no. I'm going to leave that on, though. If you want to change the name of what's here, that's okay. I don't mind that. Another problem that we have is if someone comes down to the last record here, okay, and tries to open that, you get an error message. It says event ID equals, and it's null because there's no record there, because there's nowhere to put the date in here. Okay, so in order to prevent that, I mean, you could do it in code, but the easiest solution is not to allow additions on this form. Design view, Go to the properties, go to data, allow additions, set that to no. So they can't add new records. And watch, when they open this up, they can scroll down to the bottom and there's no record down there. Nothing to click on. Open, it has to be on a record. Okay? Also, there's the issue of deletions. Now, you'd think that you can't delete any records on here because there's no record selector. But if the person knows the keyboard shortcut to delete a record, they can still delete. Let me show you. Let me go to the event table and put something bogus in here. Bugs. It's bugs, right? Let's put in today's date. Okay. And let's open up the event form. Okay, we got bugs. If I know the delete shortcut key, which is control hyphen, boop, it's gone. See that? I discovered that by accident several years ago, by the way. I always thought if you turned off the record selector, then you can't delete. But nope, not if you know the keyboard shortcut. So allow deletions, no. All right, we'll handle deletions in a minute. All right, so that takes care of those two things. Let's try now. Control hyphen, nothing. All right, good. All right, so we got an open to open one of those. We can edit it here. Loan paid off. Let's see. Oops, someone's beaming in. All right, I got my surgery. I can still do that here. Yeah, I was goofing around off camera. That's why I deleted that. Now we need a way to add a new one. So let's make a button to add a new event. So right-click, design view, copy, paste, slide that over here. Let's caption this one add. Give it a name. Add button. Okay. Right-click, build event. What's this one going to do? Well, we're going to open that same form that we're using to edit, but we're going to open it in data entry mode. Data entry mode allows you to just add new records. Okay? DoCmd, open form. What's the name of the form again? Event, edit, F. Here we go. Comma, 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 comma. Data mode is AC form add. Okay? Add. And the other default options in here, by the way, let me get it back so I can just explain them to you. Come here, comma. All right. You got add, edit. Property settings means whatever the default property set in that form is, because you can set the property of the form called data entry to yes, and then that's only a data entry form. Okay, if you don't want to do it with VBA, you can do it right in the form's properties. Okay, so that's what property settings means. And then there's read only, which means you can only open it up and look at records. All right, but we're going to go with AC form add for this guy. Okay, see, that's it. Again, one line of code. That's all you need half the time. All right, save it, close it, close that. Let's open it back up again. I like to close everything down and open everything back up again. All right, let's add. Here's a new one. Let's put in here, we're going to the beach. Okay, and let's just pretend, let's say it was supposed to be yesterday. All right, so it shows up on top. There's -1 days left. This was yesterday. And you're going to just have to come in here and delete stuff when you're done with it. You know, you can automatically have stuff purged. But I kind of like it that it'll be like, oh, wait a minute, you were supposed to do this 2 days ago. You forgot, you know, if you're doing deadlines for projects, for example. Okay, now when I close this, notice it doesn't pop back up on here. All right, so what I'd like it to do is when I close that form, I want it to requery this form. Okay, because now I'd have to close this and open it back up again to see the list. Okay, it'd be nice if the other form would requery this one. Well, that's another benefit of making this guy modal. Okay, is we can put something in this guy's close event, so when this form closes, it does something else. And if the only way you can get to this form is from that one, then we know this one has to be open. All right, because we don't want our users poking around the navigation pane. All right, so design view this guy. Go to his properties again, events. All right, we're looking for the on close or on unload event. Again, both will work just fine for this example. All right, on close, ... What am I going to put in here? Again, one line of code. When this form closes, I want to say forms, event, F, that's the other form, right? .requery. That says issuing the requery command of that form. Requery says go out to the table, pull all the new records in, or all the changes, or whatever. Refresh the records in you, basically. It'd be the same thing if on that other form you said me.require. This is refresh my records. You could have one form tell another form to refresh itself. Okay? Again, one line of code. Save it, close it, close it. All right, let's open up the beach. Let's say I got the beach day wrong. The beach day is actually coming up on Friday. All right, and then close that. And, oh, there it is. It refreshed right there. Okay. It would also be nice if when that form closes, it drops the focus down here maybe. So it's not sitting there like that, because I double-clicked on this, right? And when this closes, it comes right back there. Let's force the focus down here onto the Add button, in case you're adding stuff, right? So let's go back to our code window. I put a button up here on my quick launch toolbar that takes me back to it, so I don't have to go back to the design view and all that stuff. All right, so we're going to requery that form, and then we're going to say forms event f. What's the name of that? Add button dot set focus. There you go. Another one-line command, right? Okay, yeah, it's 2 lines now, but you get it, right? All right, save that. And if you're not familiar with all this notation that I'm using, how to get a value from another form or to call another form's properties and methods like that, just check this video out. All right, close this. Let's close that, close that. All right, let's start over from scratch. All right, events, open up beach, close beach, and the focus is moved right back down here to that button. See, when I double click on something and I come back, it puts the focus down here. Much cleaner than the other way. Okay, all right, it's looking good, it's looking good. Okay, how we doing? Everybody with me? All right, next comes the hardest button, the delete button. Okay, because we're going to add some stuff to it. So it's going to work like this. You're going to pick the one you want. You're going to select it, right? And then hit delete down below on the bottom. All right, so design view. We're going to copy one of these buttons, copy, paste, slide it up here. We are going to change the name to delete. Okay, and give it a name over here. Delete button. Whoops. Get rid of all that extra stuff. No command 9 here, right? All right, right click, build event. Now, you could just put the delete command in here. All right, but I like to wrap that around a are you sure? You never want to let someone delete something without asking them, are you sure? Did you really mean to click on that delete button? And honestly, personally, I prefer not deleting anything. I just mark something inactive. That's a better way to handle it. I got a whole video on that. Generally, this applies to like customer records, orders, things of that nature. You don't want to delete stuff. Right? If a customer dies and you're never going to get a sale from him again, just mark him inactive. You don't want to delete all of his information, so you have it for the history. Okay? But for something like this, for your little upcoming events, once the event's over, I guess, all right, fine, delete it. Again, totally your call, totally up to you. So before we get to the delete command, I want to ask the user, are you sure? So I'm going to use the message box dialog, and I'm going to put on there yes, no, cancel buttons. And I'm going to get the return value from that. And then if they don't say yes, that they're sure, it's going to exit out. I covered this in detail in this video, so I'm just going to type in the code and let you see it. But if you want to learn more about how this works, watch this video. All right, this is going to be if message box, we're going to say delete, and then the event name. Put it right in the box, right? Are you sure? Comma. Yes. Yes. Sorry. VB. Yes. No. Cancel. I like yes, no, and cancel buttons because if people aren't sure, they're going to hit cancel without having to read it. And then maybe go plus critical. That adds the little critical bounce and the little icon for that. Comma. The title will be delete. Okay. Now, if that response returns anything but VB yes, then exit sub. So if they click yes, it'll continue on. Otherwise, if they say no or cancel, it's going to exit. Okay? That's that. I know that line looks confusing. Go watch that other video if you want to learn more about how that works. And I typed this wrong. See, I got a quick look at this, and I can see that didn't capitalize, so I know I didn't type it in right. All right? It's plus VB critical. See, now it capitalized that C, so now I know it's a visual cue. That's why I always type everything in all lowercase letters. Okay, so we got past that point. Now it's time to actually do the delete. So it's this. It's DoCmd.RunCommand space There's a whole big long list of basically most of the commands that are on the toolbar, on the ribbon, are on here. It's ACCMD, delete, not just delete though, it's delete record. Okay, don't use just delete. That's to delete objects like tables and stuff. You don't want to do that. Okay, that's it. See, it's really one line of code with an "Are you sure?" That's a second line of code. All right, save it, close it, close it. Let's put another bogus record in here. All right, bogus. Close it. Let's go back to our event form. It's bogus, dude. Right? Delete. Are you sure? No, not sure. Oh, okay. All right, let's try it again. Delete. Are you sure? Yeah, okay, this time I'm sure. Oh, hang on. The command or action delete record isn't available now. Why is that? Well, little boys and girls, that's because what did we do earlier with this form? We set it so that the allowDeletions property is no. But since we know a little VBA, we can fix that. We can overcome that problem, right? Let's hit debug. It'll take you right to the spot in the code where the problem is. Okay. What we have to do here is allow deletions, do the delete, and then disable deletions again. Okay, are you ready? So it's going to be Me.AllowDeletions equals true. All right. Me dot means that's a property of me. Me is the current form. Do the deletion and then turn that back off again because you don't want your users messing with stuff. All right, with the keyboard shortcut. Okay. Save it. Come back out here. Let's try it again. Ready? Delete. Yes, and there it's gone. And then maybe put the focus back down on the delete button or the add button. I don't like putting the focus back on the delete button. That gets dangerous. Let's come down here and we'll say add button dot set focus so it looks better. All right, let's do that again. Let's try that again. Let's go to my event T, put some garbage in here, close it, open it, delete this. Are you sure? Yes. And there we go. That's kind of cool, right? So you can manipulate you just got to know what's causing that problem. And I've been doing this for 30 years. So I know. I know what to expect every time I do something. The alternate way, if you don't want to play with the form's properties, is you could put one line of SQL there. Okay, you could say something like current db.execute delete from event T where event ID equals event ID. That's the option. That's using SQL. It goes right to the table and deletes it. Then you requery the form. But either one of these things works fine. We'll stick with that one. Okay, there's usually 2 or 3 different ways to do stuff in Access. I love it. All right, another thing. Let's do one more thing. Let's say if this is less than 2 days away, let's make this red instead of blue. So it pops. So it pops, it pops, it pops. Ruby Rod.
Commercial! Commercial!
Oh, okay. No, commercial? Oh, okay. That's one of my favorite movies, by the way. Okay, anyways, let's put a splash of color in this guy. Now, you can't change the properties of a text box in a continuous form without changing all of them. If I say, number box, whatever this is, dot background color is red, it'll change all of them. So you can't change it in VB code, but you can change it in conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is changing the properties of something based on a value of something else. Okay? So in design mode here, let's click on this guy. Go to Format, Conditional Formatting, add a new rule. We'll say if the field value is, let's say, less than or equal to what value? Let's say 2. We're going to change the background color to dark red. And let's do the format of the foreground color in white, and we'll still go bold. And then hit OK. Now, these rules are applied in order. So we want to add a second one. All right, let's add another one. New rule. The field value is less than or equal to 5. Then we'll set it equal to, let's go yellow with black text, and we'll also bold. All right, so in order, if it's less than 2, go red. If it's less than 5, go yellow. Otherwise, it'll keep whatever formatting it has right now. Apply, hit OK, close it, save changes, open it back up again, and oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? All right, this guy's less than 2, this guy's less than 5. We got our colors. Sexy. I think I like this one better than the one that I had on the title slide. I'm going to change it. This is my run-through database. I usually run through this once quickly. So I've got these pictures for the slides. And because I hate doing it, the video, and then putting the slides on afterwards at the beginning. I just like to do it all. But I like to run through sometimes just one time quick to make sure I know what I'm doing. But I think the new one looks better than this one. What do you guys think? I don't know. Yeah, that's better. I like that one better. That one looks nice. Okay, so there you go. There's your event countdown form. And when you you know what? Oh, I think we're gonna do. You want one more thing? One more thing? What do you think? It's time for a bonus. Ready? Some bonus footage. Actually, it's not technically a bonus because this is the whole point of this was to pop this thing up when the database starts. So the bonus is going to be the main feature. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay. I don't want this thing just opening up if there's nothing in it, if you haven't put any events in here. Okay, so there has to be events in here. So to do that, we're going to count how many events are in here. And if that count is greater than 0, we're going to open this form when the database opens up. Okay, we're going to specifically do it when the main menu loads. Now, in my blank database template, which is a prerequisite for all of the other videos you were supposed to watch, so you should have watched this one, I teach you how to create a startup form for your database. Okay, it's in the settings. Go watch this video if you want to learn how to do that. That's where my main menu comes from, and that's why it opens up when the database starts. But now, since this guy is going to open when the database starts, I can have him check to see if other stuff needs to load too. All right, so right-click, Design View. We're going to look for his onOpen event, right? Or onLoad, either one. Okay, yeah, there's a difference between the two of them. In a nutshell, onOpen can be canceled, onLoad can't. I got a whole video coming out that teaches the difference between those things. I cover it in my developer series, if you're really curious now. All right, so here I'm going to count the number of items in the event table. Okay, so I'm going to dim, let's call it X as a long. I'm going to say X equals decount the records, all the records, a star, right, from event T. That's it. That's going to return a number, a long integer, from 0 to however many records are in that table. Okay, if X is greater than 0, then DoCmd.OpenForm event F. If there are no events, don't bother opening it. In other words, if all your events are gone, there's no reason to open this form. Okay, save it, close it, close it. Now I'm going to simulate the database opening by just opening up the main menu form, and there it is. Now it opened in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just slide this over here and save it. Slide it over there, save its position however you want it to look when you open it up. Now save it, Control S on the keyboard. Close that, close that. It should save its position now. Open it up, and there it is. Do that. And this is a little button here that runs a macro. That's right down here. That opens up the main menu. That's covered in the template video as well. Okay, and now you'll notice if you have nothing in your event table, it won't open that up. So if I, let me just copy this, for example. Copy, paste. We'll copy the structure and data. Okay, and I'll delete this now. Now there's no records in that table. Okay. And now we will open up the main menu, and that guy did not load. See? Okay, and I can just take those records now, put them back. I'll just copy this, come over here, paste them all back in there. Do these event IDs matter? No, because nothing's related to this table. So these IDs don't matter. Auto numbers are not for you. You should not care what they are. Doesn't matter if there's gaps. Okay, unless you got something else related to event T, then yeah, those numbers matter. All right, so there you go. There's your event countdown form. Now you know you got 1 day to your conference, 4 days to the beach, 7 days to surgery, and 69 days to you're old. That's my birthday, 69. No, not 69. In 69 days. Not 69 yet. I got a couple of years until I hit that number. One thing I was thinking. Oh, I didn't give you some links. Let me give you some other links. Hang on. I used decount and I used an if-then statement. All right, there's decount. Go watch that if you want to learn more about that guy. And here's an if-then statement. Go watch that one too. So there you go. There's your tech help video for today. I hope you learned something. Now, for the members, we're going to do some more fun stuff. We are going to do custom color schemes. So instead of just blue, dark blue, light blue, dark blue, light blue, you're going to be able to pick what color you want each of those items to be. Okay? We'll do black, blue, green, and red. And then you can change it so that you can say, okay, I want vacation to be green, I want my surgery blue, I want anniversary to be red, and so on. Okay, we'll do some customization with that conditional formatting so that whatever color scheme we pick is the one that gets displayed. And then sometimes when I'm doing these tech help videos, I come up with all kinds of crazy ideas, and I put those crazy ideas in my developer class for my developer students because some things involve a lot of programming, and I save a lot of programming stuff for my VBA students. So instead of a simple color scheme, which we're going to do for the members in the tech help video, where you just basically pick green, red, black, whatever, and you have a set certain amount of colors, for the developer students, we're going to actually make custom color schemes where the user can actually pick the exact colors they want by using these little buttons right here, right, to click on this and pick the color. And then the Windows dialog will pop up and say, you know, which color do you want? That's going to get saved then in here. All right. And then that will build the custom color scheme for each record. Okay. So yeah, it's the tech help video, the extended cut, and then Developer 40's got a lot more stuff in it if you want to get into colors and you know, programming, conditional formatting in VBA. We're going to actually modify the conditional formatting settings with VBA code. So you're not just locked into the ones that you programmed into Design View. But if you just want to take the next step, check out my tech help video. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut videos, and gold members can download all of these databases that I build in the tech help videos, and it's basically like the cost of a cup of coffee every month to be a silver member. And yeah, what are you waiting for? Join today. Come on. Everyone's doing, all the cool kids are doing it. All right. I hope you learned something. We'll see you next time. How do you become a member? Click on the join button below the video. After you click the join button, you'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks. Silver members and up will get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, one free beginner class each month, and more. Gold members get access to download all of the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus my code vault, where I keep tons of different functions that I use. You'll also get a higher priority if you decide to submit any tech help questions to me, and you'll get one free expert class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks, plus even higher priority for tech help questions, access to all of my full beginner courses for every subject, and one free developer class each month after you finish the expert classes. These are the full-length courses found on my website, not just for Access, too. I also teach Word, Excel, Visual Basic, and lots more. You can now become a Diamond sponsor and have your name or company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown in each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout-out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. But don't worry, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free, and click on the bell icon to select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Make sure you click the Show More link down below the video to find additional resources and links. You'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted, so if you'd like to get an email every time I post a video, click on the link to join my mailing list. Even if you don't want to become a member, feel free to donate to my tip jar. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got puppies to feed. Now, if you have not yet tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access. It's over 4 hours long, and I just updated it for 2021. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll include a link below that you can click on. And also, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. Yep, that's all, $1, and it's free for all members of my YouTube channel at any level, even supporters. Want to have your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page on my website. You can send me your question there. While you're on my site, feel free to stop by the Access Forum. Lots of good conversations happening there. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course, YouTube. Once again, my name is Richard Ross. Thank you for watching this tech help video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something today. I'll see you again soon.